Hey, so last week got a chance to try to connect some of the dots, and it was a little bit of a longer video. Today will be a little bit of a shorter video, but I thought looking at some of the different things that I've been asking a lot of the small groups, I think are giving me some important things to really look at. And one of those is basically a variation of the question of what exactly are we connected to here as the collective. Like some people are like, I come to the gathering, but not really sure what I'm connected to because that's only once a month, and they're not involved in a small group yet, and so it's harder to see. Some people who are connected to a lot of what we do, small groups and the gatherings, are like, man, I really kind of see what our small group is connected to, but like, what are we really as a church? What is this? What are we connected to? Where's this church going? Variations of those thoughts and those ideas. And I think again, kind of validating all of that is it's a really good question. It's not an easy question to answer because I think what's difficult for me is I've often been in a context in ministry where a large statement was made of this is who we are, and then everything rallies underneath that. And I don't think that's bad at all. I think it gives people to know what the goal is, who we are, what we're doing, and how we're moving forward. I think what's harder for me is to boil some of that down. I've been able to boil some of that down, authentic community, engaging communities to authentically connect to God and to each other. These are the things that what we're going to do as a church. This is our format with small group, online, and the gathering. Some of that has been able to been thrown out, but or to being thrown to people to be able to hear. But I think what's a really good question is that question of some formulation of, and there's been different variations of it, but basically, where are we going? Like, what is this? What are we connected to? And um, straight up, I'm probably going to have a little bit of a hard time pinning that down. But if I did, and again, what all of this debrief and all this stuff is helping me to do is to kind of be able to take things that are all out here and have been kind of in a peripheral for 12 months and try to hone it in. And so that's where this has been really valuable for me. But I think if I'm just going to answer the question, where are we going and what are we connected to? I think the way that I can answer that is we're going towards God and towards people. And I think we're connected to God and to people. And the thing that makes me nervous about that statement is that it kind of sounds like um, a mission statement or a t-shirt, which is not bad, but it makes me nervous that is it just a statement or is it really who we are? And so what I'm trying to really think through and evaluate is, are we trying to go toward God and go toward people? Like, is that what we're connected to? I realize that it again, we talked about this last week. It's a little bit hard because we've only got 12 gatherings a year, and then we're in these groups, which I really do believe in that format for who we are right now. I think it's good. I think it can be healthy, and I think we're walking toward healthiness. Um, it can be a little bit hard when we aren't able to corporately worship together and be together as much, and all our different small groups kind of have their own identity, but still connected to the collective as a whole. So I think that there's some things coming with that. I think that there's some ideas coming that can help connect us more as individuals and as groups and as the church as a whole. So I'm excited about kind of as those things kind of unfold, being able to bring those to the church and helping them understand. But I would just say, in a simple way, with the question, where are we going? What is all this? And what are we connected to? I believe that we're going toward God and toward people. And that's what connects us even more. That's what connects us from another point of connectivity from small groups, online, and the gatherings. Those all three working to help us walk toward God and people. So I don't know if that completely helps those of you who have asked different versions of that question of where we're going, what are we connected to, what is all this? But I want you to know that I hope it does kind of help give you a little piece of insight to look at that. That's the way that I'm trying to view everything and what it is. And please know that I understand that all this stuff is bringing clarity to me and hopefully to you. Now, there, as a church, there is not a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan. And to be very honest with you, there is a very loose plan for the end of year 1 and the end of year 2. What are we looking to do? There are big picture things. And I also want you to know I'm very comfortable with there being a lack of that. That doesn't mean that there's not ideas. It doesn't mean that there's not an outline. But it does mean that there's not a stereotypical kind of idea of we're going to be here, our goal, we're going to be here in 5 years. Because honestly, I don't know that that would be wise for me in this context to have. I think I know where we are now, and I have kind of like these thoughts and what I believe God wants for us to be walking out in the very near future, walking into the year 2022 and through most of that. Starting more small groups, figuring out to provide greater connectivity to the group as a whole, and different things like that. So I want you to know that there are thoughts, there are plans, there is me seeking wisdom and wanting to hear from people within the collective, and then seeking wisdom from outside the collective. It just may not look like this stereotypical idea of a business plan or whatever, but I believe that there should be ideas coming forward of what we're going to look like. But I also believe that I feel comfortable with the fact that it looks a little bit different from anything I've ever done in ministry. So anyway, I hope that helps a little bit. So what is this? We're a group of people coming together for a common purpose. And I really believe right now what this is, and who we are, what we're connected to, and what kind of helps us know like where we're going, is that we're going towards God and towards people. So I hope this helps a little bit. And I look forward to continuing to kind of help connect the dots. Again, if you ever need to ask me more questions about anything, email me at chuck@thecollectivechurch.net, and I would love to get to be able to talk to you more. All right, we'll talk to you guys next week.